The league is on the air. It's the beginning of week 3, Monday, April 29th, 1946, and it's also the end of April. One game is scheduled today. The Guardians versus the Yankees. From Yankee Stadium in New York, the Yankees host the Cleveland Guardians. Starting lineup for the Cleveland Guardians: Eddie YANKEES at first, Eddie Lake at short, Johnny Lindell in right, Joe Gordon, the cleanup hitter, at second, Clyde Klutz, the catcher, Bob Kennedy in left, Hoot Evers in center, Rip Russell at third, Warren Spahn, the starting pitcher today. He's 1-1 with a 4.00 ERA, a 1.44 WHIP. He's 25 years old. Starting lineup for the New York Yankees: Ralph Kiner in left, Pat Sweeney in right, Ernie Lombardi, the catcher, Hank Greenberg hitting cleanup, the first baseman, Mickey Witek at second, Thurman Tucker in center, Dick Culler, the shortstop, Bill Rigney at third, and the starting pitcher, Stubby Overmeyer. He's 1-1 with a 1.80 ERA, a 1.00 WHIP. He's 26 years old. "14,000 fans in the stands, clear skies, 51 degrees, wind blowing in from left at 9 miles an hour. New York Yankees are in third place with a record of 8-5. Their home record is 2-3. The Indians are in seventh place with a record of 4-7. On the road, they are 3-3. Let's play ball. Good afternoon. Welcome to Yankee Stadium in New York. Today, the Yankees square off against the Guardians. The seventh-place Guardians own a 4-7 record. New York comes in at 8-5, placing them in third place in the American League. This is the first contest between these teams this year. Temperature's 51, with nothing but sunshine. Wind blowing in from left. First pitch is coming up. New York sends Stubby Overmeyer to the mound today. He has 1 win, 1 loss, and a 1.80 ERA. His WHIP is at present is 1.00. Eddie YANKEES steps to the plate. He's hitting .277, no homers, and 3 runs batted in. The full count pitch, a ground out. The shortstop throws the first for the first out of the inning, and we're underway. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Top of the first, bottom of the first. Bottom of the first inning. The Yankees have a man at third base, Ernie Lombardi, with the batter, Hank Greenberg, the right-hand hitter. Left-handed Warren Spahn on the mound for Cleveland. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the air to left field. It's deep and it's far, and it is gone. That's a 2-run home run for Hank Greenberg. And now it's 3-0 New York. So a run had scored previously. Let's first take a look at the homer. The tail of the tape, 354 feet to left field. 91 miles an hour off the bat. A slider at 82 from Warren Spahn. And Hank Greenberg launches a 2-run blast. The first run scored after Pat Siri had a base hit and Ernie Lombardi tripled to score him. So since that runner was not in scoring position, I didn't see that. So now the score is 3-0 Yankees, bottom of the first inning. And now we advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Top of the second, Yankees lead 3-0. Top of the second inning, the Guardians have a runner at second base, Joe Gordon, and a runner at first, Clyde Klutz. The batter, right-hand hitter Bob Kennedy. Left-hand pitcher Stubby Overmeyer for New York on the mound. Here's the pitch. That's in the air. The first baseman will make the catch on the infield grass near the mound for the first out. Here's Hoot Evers. He's the number 7 hitter. He's the center fielder. He's hitting 175 on the season. 7 hits and 40 at-bats. 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to Hoot Evers. And that misses ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. That'll bring up right-hand hitter Rip Russell, facing the lefty Overmeyer. Russell's hitting 241 on the year. 5 runs batted in. Lefty versus righty. That's in the air on the infield, actually foul ground. And the first baseman will run toward the plate and make the catch in foul territory. That's 2 out. Bases still loaded. Left-hand hitter Spahn, the pitcher, will step up. He's 2 for 5 on the season. He's got a home run. Here's the pitch. Lefty versus lefty. He swings and misses strike 3, and that'll retire the side. The Guardians get 3 base runners but do not score. Yankees still lead 3-0. Bottom of the second inning will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. The Yankees have Bill Rigney at second. Bottom of the second, 2 out, they lead by 3. Ralph Kiner will step to the plate, the leadoff hitter. Left fielder's hitting 163 on the year. 1 homer, 1 run batted in. He's 8 of 49. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to right field. The right fielder is there to make the catch for the last out. Yankees get nothing and leave 1. New York is still up 3-0. Top of the third, advancing. Bottom of the third. Top of the fourth. Top of the fourth inning, the Guardians have a runner at second base, Clyde Klutz, and a runner at first, Hoot Evers. Right-hand hitter Rip Russell at the plate, the number 8 hitter, hitting 233. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch versus the lefty, Overmeyer. That's in the air to right field. Right fielder was there to make the catch. 2 out now. Right fielder Pat Siri for New York makes the catch. 2 men on, 2 men out. Left-hander Warren Spahn, the pitcher, will step in. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to center field. Center field waits on it, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Inning over, 2 base runners in the inning, but the Guardians do not score. It's still 3-0. Bottom of the fourth, advancing. Top of the fifth. Top of the 5th inning, the Guardians have a man at second in Eddie Wakes. The hitter is Johnny Lindell, hitting from the right side against the lefty Overmeyer. Lindell's the number 3 hitter. The right fielder is hitting 289 with 1 homer and 7 runs batted in. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the air. First baseman running toward the mound, and he'll make the catch of the pop-up near the mound. 2 out. Here's Joe Gordon, right-hand hitter. The cleanup hitter, second baseman, hitting 182 on the year. 1 run batted in. He's 8 of 44. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that retires the side. That's 3 strikeouts for Overmeyer. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left on. No change in the score. Yankees still up 3-0. Bottom of the fifth, advancing. Top of the sixth. Top of the sixth inning, Cleveland have Clyde Klutz at second base. Bob Kennedy at the plate, the right-hand hitter versus the lefty Overmeyer in his sixth inning of work. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. That's the first out. Here's Hoot Evers, right-hand hitter. Number 7 hitter, hitting 175 on the year, 1 home run, and 3 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to right field, and it'll get down for a base hit. That should be extra base. No, he'll stop it first. So they have runners at the corners with 1 out. Klutz at third, Evers at first, and here's Rip Russell, right-hand hitter. 1 out. Score is 3-0. Cleveland has the tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch. He hits it in the air on the infield. Shortstop drifts toward the bag, and he'll make the catch for the pop-up. That's 2 out. Pitcher Warren Spahn steps in. He's 0 for 2 today. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
He swings and misses. Strike 3. Strikes out swinging. That ends the inning for Cleveland. The Guardians get nothing and strand a pair. New York still leading 3-0. Bottom of the 6th inning, advancing. Top of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Yankees have Whitek at second. We'll complete the half inning and see if they score. They do not. Score still 3-0 in the top of the 8th inning. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. A run has scored for Cleveland. Let's see how. Clyde Klutz had a single, and Hoot Evers hit a double. So the runner not in scoring position scored from first. So Cleveland's on the board. It's 3-1. Hoot Evers is at second, and here's Rip Russell. Okay. So here's the pitch from lefty Overmeyer in his 8th inning of work against Rip Russell. The pitch. That's it on the ground to short. He'll throw to first for the out. And that retires the side. 1 run for Cleveland on 2 hits. The Guardians creep even ever closer. It's now 3-1. Bottom of the 8th, advancing. 2-run score. Looks like a home run with a man on first. Nobody's on base. Yep. It was a base on balls and then a 2-run home run by Ernie Lombardi. Okay. So those 2 runs make it 5-1 New York in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Advancing. Now they have 2 more runners on in scoring position. Mickey Whitek at third, Thurman Tucker at second, with Dick Culler at the plate. I'm going to advance and see the result of this inning. They scored 2 more runs, so it's 7-1 New York as we go to the top of the 9th inning. We'll do the at-bats. First, Dick Kramer, left-hand hitter, against lefty Overmeyer, trying to complete the game. The pitch. He has 1 hit and 5 at-bats in a pinch hitting role. He grounds to second. He'll throw to first on the routine play. 1 out. Left-hand Eddie Wakers steps in against the lefty Overmeyer. Here's the pitch. Has it in the air to left field. He's chasing it. He won't get it. And he will get it. He ran it down. Left fielder makes the play, and that's 2 out. Nice play by the left fielder, Ralph Kiner, for the Yankees. Here's Eddie Lake. Last chance for the Guardians. They trail by 2. Right-hand hitter against the lefty Overmeyer. The pitch.
Strike three.
It is in there, a strike called, and that's the game. New York sends Cleveland down to defeat 7-1 here at Yankees Stadium. Let's take a look at the box score. Here are the totals for today's game. First, for the victorious New York Yankees, now with 9 wins and 5 losses. They had 7 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. The Yankees left 4 men on base. For the Guardians, they had 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. They left 10 men on base. Overmeyer schools Cleveland in 7-1 New York triumph. The New York Yankees pitcher Stubby Overmeyer was in top form, leading his team past the Cleveland Guardians 7-1. New York goes to 9-5. Overmeyer pitched a complete game for New York. The left-hander was charged with 1 run and 6 hits. He struck out 8 during his 139-pitch performance. I went out and just tried to do my job, said Overmeyer. Player of the game, Stubby Overmeyer, starting pitcher for the New York Yankees. His record is now 2-1. His earned run average is 1.50. He struck out 8 batters today. He walked 4. Gave up 1 earned run. Allowed 6 hits. Orrin Spawn's a loser. His record's now 1-2. His earned run average is 5.26. He allowed 7 earned runs. He walked 3, struck out 6, allowed 2 homers in 145 pitches. Allowed 7 hits. Final score, the Yankees win at home versus the Guardians 7-1. So our top performances for today: number 3, Hoot Evers for Cleveland, 2 for 2, a double, an RBI, and 2 walks in the 7-1 loss. Number 2 performance, Ernie Lombardi for the Yankees, 2 for 4, a triple, homer, and 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored in the 7-1 win versus Cleveland. And the number 1 performance, of course, Stubby Overmeyer. 9 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, and the win in the 7-1 win versus Cleveland. We advance to the next day. The last day of April has a full slate of games. All 16 teams are playing in the American and National Leagues. Let's take a look at our matchups. Pirates host the Phillies. They're 11-3. Benton versus Dixon. Dixon's 2-0. So is Benton. Look at those ERAs. That's a pitching matchup. Red Sox host the Tigers. They're 4-10. In free fall from what I saw on the site. Tigers are 9-3. Ostermuller versus Schumacher. Ostermuller's 2-0. Athletics host the Browns. Athletics are hot. They're only a game back in the loss column. Koslow versus Masterson. Senators host the White Sox. Pappish versus Bowery. Yankees host the Guardians again. This time, Harris versus Puzava. Reds host the Braves. One of them got to get on track. Cards host the Giants. Lions versus Kinder. And the Cubs host the Dodgers. Scarborough versus Embry. Cubs have won 5 in a row. We continue with Tuesday, April 30th, 1946, the end of the month. We will quick play half of the games today, and we will play with runner in scoring position for the other half. The first two contests will be quick play. The Boston Red Sox host the Detroit Tigers. Here's the result. Tigers win 7-4. Losing trend continues for Boston. The Detroit Tigers defeated the Boston Red Sox 7-4. Catcher Bill Salkeld deserved a large share of the credit. Salkeld went 1 for 4 with a home run and a walk. He scored 2 times and drove in 3 for the Tigers. Detroit pitcher Fritz Ostermuller got the win. He's now 3-0. Hal Schumacher was tagged with the loss. Johnny Gee picked up the save, his third. Early in the game, Salkeld had a 3-run home run for Detroit. It was his third home run of the season and put the Tigers on top 3-0. No one likes losing, said Boston manager Joe Cronin. But we'll turn this thing around. Boston is 4-11 after the defeat. Bill Salkeld is the player of the game. Next, the New York Yankees host the Cleveland Guardians in Game 2 of the series. Here's the result. The Guardians win 3-2. Guardians sneak past Yankees 3-2. Guardians sneak past Yankees 3-2. The 3-hit performance of Joe Gordon, who won the Most Valuable Player award in 1942, helped the Cleveland Guardians beat the New York Yankees 3-2. The win has Cleveland 5-8. The game was at a stalemate until pitcher Mickey Harris came to bat in the top of the 8th, facing New York pitcher Errol Johnson. He hit 2 for 2. He hit a 2-2 curveball for a run-scoring single. It was a game changer, putting Cleveland on top 3-2. Harris said his team played with determination. Player of the game is Joe Gordon, second baseman for the Cleveland Guardians. Next, we look at the first 2 games in the National League slate. The Cincinnati Reds host the Boston Braves. Here's the result. The Reds defeat the Braves 9-3. Cincinnati beats Boston 9-3. Augie Gallan made an impact in the 9-3 Cincinnati win over Boston. Gallan, who is a 3-time All-Star, was 3 for 5 with a double and 2 singles. He scored 2 times and drove in 2. Boston, with the loss, is 5-9. Right fielder Elmer Vallo made an impact for Cincinnati when he swatted a run-scoring triple off Dizzy Trout in the bottom of the third. For the contest, Vallo was 1 for 4 with a triple and a walk. He scored 2 runs and drove in 2. Nice to get this one, said Vallo. Wins have been hard to come by. Player of the game is Augie Galan, left fielder for the Cincinnati Reds. Next from Pittsburgh, the Pirates host the Phillies. Both these pitchers are 2-0 with very low ERAs. Let's take a look at this one. From Forest Field in Pittsburgh, the Pirates host the Philadelphia Phillies. Here's the starting lineup for the Phillies. Pee Wee Reese at short, Dale Ennis in left, Dixie Walker in right, Aaron Robinson, the cleanup hitter, at catcher, Billy Johnson at third, Wally Judnick in center, Cass Michaels at second, Joe Cool at first, and the starting pitcher is Al Benton. Al is 2-0 with a 0.50 ERA and a 0.72 whip. He's 35 years old. Starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Johnny Weissdesek at center, Bob Elliott in right, Walker Cooper the catcher, Johnny Mize the cleanup hitter at first, Vern Stevens at short, Buster Adams in left, Skippy Roberge at third, Johnny Baradino at second, and the starting pitcher Murray Dixon. Murray is 2-0 with a 0.55 ERA and a 0.92 whip. He's 29 years old. Good pitching matchup. Pirates are in first place with an 11-3 record. At home, they are 6-2. The Phillies are in fourth place with a 7-6 record. On the road, they are 4-1. Let's play ball. Welcome, baseball fans, to Forbes Field. Today, it's Pittsburgh taking on Philadelphia. Philadelphia holds down fourth place in the National League with a record of 7-6. Pittsburgh has posted a record of 11-3, good enough for first in the National League. This is the initial matchup between these teams. The weather, not bad. Partly cloudy with 57 degrees, the wind blowing left to right at 10 miles an hour. Let's play ball. Today, starting pitcher for the Pirates is Murray Dixon. He has 2 wins and no losses. On a 0.55 ERA, opponents have hit 189 against him. Batting leadoff for the Phils is Pee Wee Reese, who's hitting .370 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. Deep fly to center, and he's there to make the catch on the full count pitch. And that's the first out of the game. Top of the first inning. Now advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Bottom of the first inning, the Pirates have Johnny Weistersteck at second base. The right-hand hitting Bob Elliott at the plate. The number 2 hitter is hitting .268 with 1 home run and 8 runs batted in. Right-hand pitcher Al Benton on the mound for the Phillies. Here's the pitch. Nobody out. That pitch misses for ball 4, and there are 2 men on now with nobody out. Elliott at first, Weistersteck at second. Right-hand hitter Walker Cooper steps up. Righty versus righty. Cooper is hitting .289, 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. The pitch. That's hit in the air to right field. That's a base hit. It gets down. They had to wait to make sure it wasn't caught, so the bases are now loaded with nobody out. Still no score. And the batter is left-hand hitting Johnny Mize. The cleanup hitter, first baseman, hitting .283 with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. The right-hand pitcher, Benton, leans in. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to center. He runs in and he will make the catch. The runner on third tags. The throw home is not in time, and he will score. Pittsburgh leads 1-0. Elliott at second, Cooper at first. 1 out. Right-hand hitter Vern Stevens steps in. Stevens hitting .190 to shortstop. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Righty versus righty. That's on the ground to first. He'll scoop it up and throw to second base for 1. He throws back to first for the double play. That retires the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. A runner left on. Pittsburgh has the lead 1-0. Top of the second inning. The Phillies trail by 1. Now advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates have Buster Adams at second, with Johnny Bernardino, the number 8 hitter, at the plate. Right-hand hitter. The second baseman, this is his first at bat. Here's the pitch from right-hander Al Benton. That's on the ground to third. He picks it up, throws across the diamond in time for the second out. Buster Adams advances to third. Pirates lead 1-0, bottom of the second inning, 2 out. Buster Adams at third. Right-hand hitter Murray Dixon steps in. He's the pitcher. Right-hand pitcher Al Benton ready to pitch. That's in the air. Left field, base hit. That'll score the run. And they now lead 2-0. Dixon with an RBI single. Here's Johnny Weistersteck. There's no longer a runner in scoring position, so now we advance. We go to the top of the third inning. The score is Pittsburgh 2, Philadelphia 0. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the third, top of the fourth. Top of the fourth inning, the Phillies have Pee Wee Reese at second. 2 out. The left-hand hitter, Aaron Robinson, steps in. He's the cleanup hitter. The catcher is hitting .250 with 1 homer and 4 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 today. Right-hand pitcher, Murray Dixon. Now ready. The pitch. That misses, ball 4. Runners now at first and second. The right-hand hitting Billy Johnson steps in. He's the number 5 hitter. The third baseman is hitting .269 with 1 homer and 5 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1. The pitch. That's on the ground to short. Scoops it up and goes the short way to second base for the force play to retire the side. Phillies get a hit and a walk and leave 2. Pittsburgh still ahead 2-0. Bottom of the fourth inning. advancing until a runner is in scoring position. Pittsburgh has 2 men on, Vern Stevens at second, Buster Adams at first. Right-hand hitter Skippy Roberge steps in. He's the number 7 hitter. The third baseman is hitting .154 on the year, 4 hits and 26 at-bats, 5 runs batted in. Righty versus righty. The pitch from Benton. He lays one down to the mound. Pitcher picks it up, throws the first in time. The runners advance. Stevens to third, Adams to second. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1 out. 2 men in scoring position. Right-hand hitter Johnny Bernardino steps in. He's the number 8 hitter. He's 0 for 1. The pitch. That's an intentional walk with first base open. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Defense at double play depth. Right-hand hitter Murray Dixon steps in. He's the pitcher. He's 1 for 1 today with a run batted in. Here's the pitch. He hits it on the ground. The second baseman is playing in, and he picks it up, throws it to the catcher, and gets the force play at the plate. He throws the first, but that's not in time. So they get the runner at home. And there's now 2 out, and the bases remain loaded. Here's the left-hand hitter, Johnny Wyrostek, stepping in. He's the leadoff man. The center fielder is hitting .317 with no homers and 4 runs batted in. He's 1 for 2 today. Right-hand Benton against the lefty Wyrostek. The pitch. That's in the air. That's a base hit to center field. 1 run is in. Another man is hit it home. The throw home is not in time. 2 runs score. On the single by Wyrostek, Pittsburgh now doubles their lead to 4-0. Dixon at second, Wyrostek at first. Bob Elliott will step up, the number 2 hitter. He's 0 for 1 today, hitting .263 on the year. Here's the pitch from righty Al Benton. He hits it in the air. No, it's on. Wait a minute. Did he catch that on the fly? He did. The second baseman caught it on the fly, and that will end it. The Pirates scored 2 on 3 hits and have added to their lead. It's 4-0. Top of the 5th inning. The Phillies have 1 hit. They trail by 4. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Pirates have runners on the corner with nobody out. Hooper at third. Mize at first. Vern Stevens, the right-hander, steps to the plate. The shortstop's hitting .200 on the year. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. He's 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Al Benton in his 5th inning of work. That's a base hit to center field. That'll score a run. Man is rounding second, and he's headed for third. There's a throw to third, and it is not in time. The Stevens single scores 1. Pittsburgh now leads 5-0. Let's see how this inning ends. Completing the bottom of the 5th, Pittsburgh scores another run, and they now lead 6-0. Let's see if Philadelphia makes an attempt to come back. Advancing. They do not. Let's go to the half inning of the 6th for the Pirates and see if they score more. They score another run in the bottom of the 6th and now lead 7-0. Let's see if the Phillies can come back. Okay, top of the 7th. Glenn McQuillan is at third base. Nobody out. Aaron Robinson is at the plate. He's the cleanup hitter. The catcher is hitting .250 with 1 homer and 4 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch from Dixon in his 7th inning of work. That ball gets away. Wild pitch. Glenn McQuillan will score. And Philadelphia is on the board. It's 7-1. All right, let's see if Philadelphia can get more men on base. Advancing. They do not. Bottom of the 7th inning. We'll go through it. The Pittsburgh Pirates do not score in the bottom of the 7th. The score remains 7-1 Pittsburgh. Top of the 8th. Will Philadelphia put a runner in scoring position? They do not. Skipping the half inning. Advancing past the half inning of the bottom of the 8th for Pittsburgh. Will they score again? They do not. Top of the 9th inning. Final chance for the Philadelphia Phillies. They trail by 6. Will they get a runner in scoring position? They do. They have 2 men on the top of the 9th with 2 out. Glenn McQuillan at second. Aaron Robinson at first. The right-hand hitting Billy Johnson, the number 5 hitter, steps in. He's the third baseman, hitting .259 with a homer and 5 runs batted in on the year. He's 0 for 3 today. Steve Rosser is on the hill for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Has it in the air on the infield. And the second baseman will make the catch, and that's the ball game. The Pittsburgh Pirates win at home 7-1 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Here are the totals for today's game. First, for the victorious Pittsburgh Pirates, who are now 12-3. 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. Pittsburgh left 5 men on base. For the Phillies, they had 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. They are now 7-7. The Phillies left 4 men on base. Dixon now 3-0 after subduing Phillies. Pittsburgh right-hander Murray Dixon pitched his team to victory over the Philadelphia Phillies at Forbes Field. The final score was 7-1. The loss lowers the Philadelphia record to 7-7. Dixon was effective for Pittsburgh, seldom allowing the Phillies to square up on a pitch. The right-hander tossed 113 pitches over 8 innings. He limited Philadelphia to just 1 run on 2 hits. We came out on top. That's all I can ask for, said Dixon. Player of the game is Murray Dixon, starting pitcher for the Pirates. He got the win. He's 3-0. His earned run average is now 0.74. Benton got the loss. He is now 2-1. His earned run average is now 3.04. 7 earned runs allowed. Okay, back to the American League. The remainder of the 205 starts are in the American League. The Athletics will host the Browns. And the Senators will host the White Sox. In the National League games, the Cubs will host the Dodgers. And the Cards will host the Giants. Now for the American League contests. Tuesday, April 30th, 1946. From Shibe Park in Philadelphia, the Athletics host the St. Louis Browns. Here's the starting lineup for the Browns. Eddie Stanky at second, Buddy Lewis in right, Grady Hatton at third, Andy Pafko, the cleanup hitter, in center, Joe Medvick in left, Rudy York at first, Hal Wagner, the catcher, Frankie Corsetti at short, the starting pitcher, Dave Kozlow. Dave is 0-2 with a 5.87 ERA and a 1.63 WHIP. He's 26 years old. The starting lineup for the Philadelphia Athletics. Dane Clay in center, Billy Cox at short, Sid Gordon in left, Hank Edwards, the cleanup hitter, in right, Don Ross at third, Les Fleming at first, he's hot, Skeeter Newsom at second, Paul Richards, the catcher, and the starting pitcher, Walt Masterson. Walt is 1-0 with a 2.81 ERA and a 1.38 WHIP. He's 25 years old. "14,000 fans in the stands. Clear skies, 66 degrees. Wind blowing left to right at 11 miles per hour." The Athletics are in second place with a record of 9 wins and 5 losses. They have a 5-2 record at home. The Browns are in fifth place with a 6-7 record. They are 3-3 on the road. Let's play ball. Good afternoon. Welcome to Shibe Park in Philadelphia. Today, the Athletics take on the Browns. The fifth place Browns have a 6-7 record. Philadelphia holds down second place in the American League with a record of 9-5. The Athletics hope to extend their 7-game win streak. These two teams are meeting for the first time. It's 66 degrees under clear skies, the wind blowing left to right at 11 miles an hour. It's time for the first pitch. Walt Masterson goes for Philadelphia. He has 1 win and no losses, with a pitching WAR of 0.2. Up to bat is the second baseman Eddie Stanky. The Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native is hitting .273 with no home runs and no runs batted in. The full count pitch, ground ball to third, and he'll make the play to first to start our game. 1 away. Here's the defense for the Philadelphia Athletics. Sid Gordon in left, Dane Clay in center, Hank Edwards in right, Don Ross at third base, Billy Cox at short, Skeeter Newsom at second, Les Fleming at first, the battery, Paul Richards behind the plate, and the starting pitcher, Walt Masterson. Top of the first inning, advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Buddy Lewis is at second base. In the top of the first inning, there's 1 out. The batter is left-hand hitter Grady Hatton, the number 3 hitter. The third baseman's hitting .294 with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. The right-hand pitching Masterson facing the left-hander Hatton. The pitch. That's hit in the air on the infield. The shortstop is running on the infield grass near the mound and makes the catch of the pop-up. That's 2 out. The hitter is Andy Pafko, the cleanup hitter. Center fielder's hitting .306, 1 home run and 12 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Righty versus righty. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A runner left on. There's no score. Bottom of the first, advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Top of the second. St. Louis has Rudy York at second base with Frankie Corsetti at the plate. The right-hand hitter facing the right-handed Masterson of Philadelphia. The pitch. 2 out.
Strike 3.
And that's strike 3 called. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. There's no score. Advancing. The A's have Les Fleming at third and Paul Richards at first. The batter, Walt Masterson at the plate. The left-hand pitcher, Dave Costco for the Browns, facing the right-hand hitter, Walt Masterson. He's the pitcher. He's 0 for 7 on the year. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses. Strike 3. The side is retired. Philadelphia does not score. We go to the top of the third inning. There's no score. Advancing. Bottom of the third inning. Bottom of the third. The Athletics have Sid Gordon at second, Hank Edwards at first, and the batter is Don Ross. Left-hand pitching Dave Kozlow versus the right-hand hitter. 2 out. Here's the pitch. That's a base hit to center field. The runner is rounding third and hit it home. There's a throw home, but it's cut off. There's a play at third, and he's out at third. And that'll end the inning, I believe. Yes. So Ross has a run-scoring single. Philadelphia grabs the lead 1-0. And that ends the Philadelphia third. They score 1 run on 3 hits, and a runner is left. Top of the fourth inning. Advancing. Bottom of the fourth. Top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth. Top of the sixth. Top of the sixth inning. A run has scored to tie the game. Let's see what that is. Someone not in scoring position. So there was a single by Pafko. Hatton singled, so he was on first. Pafko singled, and there was a throwing error by the right fielder, and Hatton scored on the throwing error. So that all happened with the runner not being in scoring position. So now the score is tied 1-1, top of the sixth, 2 out. Pafko is at second base with Joe Medwick at the plate. Medwick is the number 5 hitter. The left fielder is hitting .326, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. Righty versus righty. That misses, ball 4. So Medwick is at first, Pafko remains at second, 2 out, and the batter is Rudy York, the number 6 hitter, first baseman hitting .196. He's got 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1. Facing the right-hander Masterson in his 6th inning of work, 2 out. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
That's a strike 3 called, and that's the inning. 1 run in on 2 hits. St. Louis draws even with Philadelphia, 1-1 on the error. Bottom of the 6th, advancing. Top of the 7th. Top of the 7th inning, the Browns have Hal Wagner at second, Frank Corsetti at first, left-hand hitter Dave Kozlow at the plate. He's the pitcher. facing the righty Masterson in his 7th inning of work. Here's the pitch. He lays down a bunt down the first base line. The first baseman grabs it and throws to third base, and the runner is safe at third. Corsetti advances to second. So the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. The score is tied 1-1. Eddie Stanky will step to the plate. He's the leadoff hitter for the Browns. The second baseman is hitting .261. No homers, no runs batted in. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Masterson. Righty versus righty. Swings and misses, strike 3, and that's the first out. The runners stay put. The batter, Buddy Lewis, the number 2 hitter, left-hander. The right fielder's hitting .321. He's 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Masterson, righty versus lefty. That's hit in the air to center. He runs in on it and makes the catch. Quickly throws home. The runner tags and he is safe at home. And the Browns take the lead 2-1. So the throw from Dane Clay for the Athletics is not in time. And the score is 2-1. Top of the 7th inning. Number 3 hitter Grady Hatton steps in. The third baseman hitting .296. 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the air to the shortstop. He catches the soft line drive for the third out. 1 run for St. Louis and 2 hits on no errors. 2 runners left on. St. Louis leads Philadelphia 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, Philadelphia trails by 1. Advancing. Philadelphia has Al Gianfrido at second, Paul Richards at first, Claude Corbett at the plate. Corbett is the pinch hitter. He's 0 for 6 on the season. Left-hand pitcher Kozlow in his 7th inning of work, facing the right-hand hitter Corbett. Here's the pitch. Nobody out. That's hit on the ground short. He goes to second for 1. The relay in time, 6-4-3. That's 2 out. Gianfrido is now at third base. 2 out. The batter is Dale Mitchell. Left-hand hitter. He's a pinch hitter. He's 2 for 10 on the year with 1 run batted in. Here's the pitch from Kozlow. Lefty versus lefty. Swings and misses, strike 3. That retires the side. Philadelphia comes up empty. Browns still out in front of the Athletics 2-1. Top of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Athletics, Russ Bowers. Russ has pitched 9 innings this season. He has 1 win and 1 loss. He's allowed 9 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 5 and struck out 3. His ERA is 2. The batter is Pafko. Will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the 8th inning. The A's trail by a run. Advancing. The A's have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. Sid Gordon at third base, Hank Edwards at second. The batter, number 5 hitter Don Ross. The third baseman, hitting .291, has 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. Left-hand pitcher Kozlo still in there in his 8th inning of work. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to third. He throws home, and the tag is applied. He is out at home. Hank Edwards advances to third base. Don Ross is safe at first on the fielder's choice. 2 out now. Bottom of the 8th. A's still trail by a run. 2-1. The batter, Les Fleming, the number 6 hitter. He's hot. Hitting .439 on the season, 1 homer, 15 runs batted in. He's 1 for 3 today. Lefty versus lefty. The pitch. That's in the air to second base. The soft line drive is caught for the final out of the inning. Philadelphia fails to score. The score remains the same, 2-1 St. Louis. Top of the 9th inning. St. Louis leads by 1, advancing. Leon Culberson is at second base with 2 out. Eddie Stanky at the plate. The leadoff man is 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Bowers in his 2nd inning of work. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 3 Ks for Bowers. The inning is over. The Browns get a walk, but nothing else. They remain in front 2-1. New pitcher for the Browns. Jack Hallett will take the mound for the St. Louis Browns. Jack has pitched 3 2/3 innings this season. He has no wins, 1 loss. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. His earned run average is 4.91. Let's advance and see if Philadelphia can come back. Okay. With 2 out, they have runners on the corners. Vance Dinge is at third, and Yogi Berra is at first base. With the batter, Billy Cox at the plate. Billy is the number 2 hitter. The shortstop hitting .293 with no homers and 4 runs batted in. He's 0 for 3 today. Facing Jack Hallett. Here's the pitch. Righty versus righty. Bottom of the 9th, 2 out. That's in the air to center. Running in on it, and he'll make the catch to end the game. The Browns edge the Athletics 2-1. Here's the totals for today's game. First, for the victorious St. Louis Browns, who even their record at 7-7. 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. St. Louis left 8 men on base. For the Athletics, 1 run on 13 hits, 1 error. They left 10 men on base. Browns hand Philadelphia 2-1 loss. Fans watch St. Louis Browns and Philadelphia Athletics fight to the finish. Walt Masterson pitched well, but the Philadelphia Athletics still lost the game, falling 2-1 to the St. Louis Browns at Shibe Park. Dave Kozlo went 8 innings and was the winning pitcher. He was charged with 1 run on 11 hits, while walking 1 and striking out 4. His record now stands at 1-2. Jack Hallett locked down his first save. Buddy Lewis, who is tied for 7th in the American League in doubles with 4, had a direct impact on the outcome. Lewis contributed a run-scoring sacrifice fly in the top of the 7th inning to put St. Louis up 2-1. "We played a good game and came out on top," said Lewis. The loss dropped Philadelphia to 9-6. Player of the game is Walt Masterson, starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Athletics. He got the loss and is 1-1. The winner is Dave Kozlow, for the Browns. He's now 1-2, 8 innings pitched, 11 hits allowed. He has 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and 128 pitches. His earned run average is 4.24. Hallett, with his first save, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits allowed, 16 pitches, a 3.86 earned run average. Masterson of Philadelphia got the loss. He's 1-1. 7 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 2 runs scored, 2 runs allowed, 1 earned, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, no homers, 130 pitches, a 2.35 earned run average. The Browns win a road game in Shibe Park against the A's 2-1. From Griffith Stadium, the Senators host the Chicago White Sox. Starting lineup for the White Sox: Dom DiMaggio in center, George Kell at third, Stan Musial at first, he's hot, Ron Northby, the cleanup hitter, in right, Willard Marshall in left, Andy Seminick, the catcher, Lonnie Fry, the second baseman, Johnny Brown at short, and the starting pitcher, Frank Papish. 2 games, he has no record, 3.86 earned run average, a whip of 1.71. He's 28 years old. Starting lineup for the Washington Senators: George Case in left, Marty Marion at short, Tommy Holmes in right, Mickey Vernon, the first baseman, the cleanup hitter, Bobby Doerr at second, Jim Tabor at third, Ray Muller, the catcher, Hardin Gillenwater in center, and the starting pitcher, Hank Bowery. In 3 games, he's 1-1, 2.62 earned run average, a 1.54 whip. He's 29 years old. "14,000 fans in the stands. Clear skies, 58 degrees, wind blowing out to right at 10 miles an hour." The Senators are in 5th place in the American League with a 6-7 record. They're 2-6 at home. The White Sox are in 6th place with a 5-7 record. They are 3-2 on the road. Let's play ball. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Griffith Stadium. Today, the Senators and the White Sox will duke it out. The 6th place White Sox own a 5-7 record. The 5th place Senators sit at 6-7. These teams meet for the first time in 1946. The sun has been shining all day. The game time temperature is 58 degrees. Batter should have an advantage with the wind blowing out to right. Ladies and gentlemen, the first pitch is coming up. Making the start for the Senators, Hank Bowry. Hank is 1-1 with a .262 earned run average. He has made a quality start in 2 of his 3 games started. The batter is Dom DiMaggio. The first pitch is hit in the air to center field. He has made the catch, and we have the first inning. First out of the game. We're underway. Top of the first inning. The defense for Washington. George Case in left. Hardin Gillingwater in center. Tommy Holmes in right. Jim Tabor at third. Marty Marion at short. Bobby Dorr at second. Mickey Vernon at first. The battery. Ray Muller behind the plate. The starter is Hank Bowry. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the first inning. No score. The defense for the Chicago White Sox. Willard Marshall in left. Dom DiMaggio in center. Ron Northey in right. George Kell at third. Jimmy Brown at short. Lonnie Fry at second. Stan Musial at first. The battery. Andy Seminick behind the plate. And the starter, left-hand pitcher Frank Papish. Advancing. The Senators have George Case at second base with 1 out. The batter is Tommy Holmes, the left-hand hitter versus the left-hand pitching Papish. Here's the pitch. That's in the air on the infield. The third baseman makes the catch of the pop-up for 2 outs. Here's Mickey Vernon. The left-hand hitter versus the left-hand pitching Papish. The pitch. Ground ball to third. He throws the first in time for the out. And that retires the side. The Senators get nothing and leave 1. There's no score. Top of the second inning. No score. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Ron Northey at second base for the White Sox. The batter is left-hand hitter Willard Marshall versus right-hand pitcher Hank Bowry. Marshall is the left fielder, the number 5 hitter, hitting .357 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. That's a base hit to center field. The runner on second is headed home, and he is thrown out at the plate. The center fielder throws him out at home. Center fielder for the Washington Senators, Hardin Gillingwater, gets it done. Okay. Top of the second, no score. 1 out. There's not a runner in scoring position, so we will advance until there is. Top of the second, Marshall now at second with 2 out. The left-hand hitter, Lonnie Fry, is at the plate. The number 7 hitter, the second baseman, is hitting 176 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Righty versus lefty. That's it in the air to left. He ranges over and makes the catch to retire the side. 2 hits, but no runs for Chicago. No score, White Sox and Senators. Bottom of the second inning, advancing. The Senators have Bobby Doerr at second and Jim Tabor at first, with right-hand hitter Ray Muller stepping to the plate. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Lefty versus righty. He lays one down. The first baseman will take it. Throw to first. In time, the sacrifice is effective. Bobby Doerr to third. Jim Tabor to second. 1 out. First base open. The batter is right-hand hitter Carden Gillenwater. Number 8 hitter, hitting .237. No homers, 2 runs batted in. He's the center fielder. Here's the pitch. Lefty versus righty. That's it on the ground. The shortstop takes it. He'll throw to first in time. The runners do not advance. 2 out now. And the hitter is right-hand hitter Hank Bowery. Doerr at third, Tabor at second. 2 out, no score. Bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from Frank Papish to Hank Bowery. That's in the air over the first baseman. That's a base hit to right. 1 run is in. Another man has hit it home. Here's a throw home, and he's safe. 2-run score. RBI single. And the Washington Senators now in front, 2-0. Okay, bottom of the second inning. Washington now leads 2-0. No runner in scoring position, so we advance. Now they have Bowery at second. Case at first with Marty Marion stepping up, still in the bottom of the second. The right-hand hitter versus the lefty Frank Papish for the White Sox. Here's the pitch. 2 out. That's hit in the air, and that's a base hit. Left fielder will pick it up, throw it back in. The runner hit rounds third and hit it home. The throw home is not in time, and the Senators now lead by 3. Case is at second. Marion is at first. The hitter, left-hand hitter, Tommy Holmes, versus the lefty Papish. Holmes is the number 3 hitter, the right fielder hitting .346 on the year. No homers, 6 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. That's it in the air to left. He ranges toward the foul line, and he'll make the catch. That retires the side. Washington scores 3 runs on 4 hits. No Chicago errors. With 2 runners left on. It's 3-0. The Senators take the lead. Top of the third inning, advancing. The White Sox have Frank Papish at second and Dom DiMaggio at first here in the top of the third, with right-hand hitter George Kell stepping in. The number 2 hitter is the third baseman. He's hitting .180 on the year. He's 0 for 1 today. 4 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to third. He'll go to second for the fielder's choice. The runner is out at second. Papish will advance to third. Kell at first on the fielder's choice. The batter is left-hand hitter Stan Musial. The number 3 hitter is hot. He's the first baseman. He's hitting .356 on the year, 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. 0 for 1 today. The right-hand Hank Bowery in his third inning of work, now ready. That's on the ground. The second baseman cannot get it. It's through for a base hit. 1 run is in. A man has hit it for third. There'll be a throw at third, and he's safe. From the center fielder. Run-scoring single by Musial, and the Sox are on the board. Washington still have a 2-run lead, 3-1. 2 out, top of the third. Kell at third base. Musial at first. The left-hand hitter Ron Northey steps in. the cleanup hitter. The right fielder's hitting 190. 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. Versus the right-hand pitcher. That's in the air to left. He's there to make the catch and retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on. The White Sox draw closer. It's now 3-1. Bottom of the 3rd inning, advancing. Top of the 4th. Top of the 4th inning, White Sox have Willard Marshall at second, Andy Semenic at first. The batter is left-hand hitter Lonnie Fry. The number 7 hitter, second baseman's hitting 171. No homers, 2 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 today. Righty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to third. Goes to second for 1. The relay in time. 5-4-3. Double play. Willard Marshall advances to third. 2 out now. And here's left-hand hitter Jimmy Brown. The number 8 hitter. Shortstop is hitting 300 on the year. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. That's in the air on the infield. The shortstop on the outfield grass will make the catch. That retires the side. Nothing on 1 hit for Chicago. The score is still 3-1 Senators. Bottom of the 4th inning, advancing. The Senators have Ray Mueller at second. Hardin Gillenwaller at first. With the batter Hank Bowery, right-hand hitter, at the plate. Lefty versus righty. Washington leads by 2. Bottom of the 4th inning, nobody out. Here's the pitch. He bunts it to the pitcher. He'll throw to first in time. Mueller moves to third base. Gillenwaller to second. And that's the first out. So 2 runners in scoring position for George Case. He's the leadoff man. The right-hand hitter, left fielder, is hitting 261 with 1 homer and 1 run batted in. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to the pitcher. Picks it up. He'll throw a lollipop to first base and he'll beat it out. They scored a single. The bases are loaded with 1 out. The batter, right-hand hitter, Marty Marion. The number 2 hitter is the shortstop. He's hitting 212 on the year. He's 1 for 1 today with a run batted in. Lefty versus righty, the pitch. That's on the ground to second. He dives, throws it to second base, the shortstop covering, and it's a bad throw. The error is charged to the second baseman. Ray Mueller scores. Hardin Gillenwaller to third base. George Case will advance to second on the error. That's the first error by the Chicago White Sox. The score is now 4-1 Washington. Bases still loaded, 1 out. Left-hand hitter Tommy Holmes steps in. He's the number 3 hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. That's in the air on the infield. The second baseman ranges to the short center field and makes the catch of a pop-up. That's the second out. Bases still loaded. The batter is Mickey Vernon, left-hand hitter, versus the left-hand pitching Frank Papish in his 4th inning of work. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to second. He picks it up, throws the first in time, and that retires the side. The Senators pick up a run. The Senators improve their lead 4-1. Top of the 5th, advancing. Bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning. The Senators have Hardin Gillenwaller at second base, with the right-hand hitter George Case at the plate. 1 out. Frank Papish in his 6th inning of work is on the mound. Lefty versus righty. Here's the pitch to the leadoff man. Has a ground ball to short. Looks the runner back and makes a throw to first in time for the second out. Here's right-hand hitter Marty Marion. He's 1 for 2 today with 2 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. And he's trying to steal third, and Gillenwaller is caught stealing third base, and that's the inning for Washington. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. The score is 4-1, Senators. Top of the 7th inning, advancing. The White Sox have Andy Seminick at second base with 2 out. Right-hand hitter Frank Papich steps in. He's the pitcher. Here's Hank Bowery delivering in his 7th inning of work. That's a little roller in front of the plate. The catcher jumps out on it, picks it up, and fires the first to throw him out. That's all for Chicago in the 7th. Nothing on a hit for the White Sox. Washington still leads 4-1. Stretch time at Griffith Stadium. Okay. Marty Marion at the plate. Papish is on the mound. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning and will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Senators have Tabor at second, Muller at first, with Gillenwater at the plate, the right-hand hitter, versus the lefty Papish in his 8th inning of work. 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's on the air to the shortstop. He'll catch the soft liner for the 2nd out. Here's Hank Bowery, the pitcher. Right-hand hitter versus the left-hander Papish. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to left, and he'll make the catch. That does it for Washington in the 8th. 2 base runners in the inning, but they don't score. They still lead by 3, 4-1. Top of the 9th, here's the final chance for the White Sox. Let's see if they get a runner in scoring position. They do not, and that's the game. Final score, Washington 4, White Sox 1. Here are the totals. First for the victorious Washington Senators, who are now 7-7, 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Washington left 8 men on base. The White Sox have 1 run on 7 hits, 1 error. They left 5 men on base. Washington down Chicago 4-1. Washington turned a good effort from starter Hank Bowery into a win over the Chicago White Sox at Griffith Stadium. The Senators won the game 4-1. Bowery got the win, improving to 2-1. He gave up 7 hits and walked 2 over 9 innings. He allowed 1 run. Chicago is now 5-8 after the loss. There was more than one reason the Senators beat the White Sox, but Bowery's big at-bat in the bottom of the 2nd was an important factor. He staked the team to a 2-0 lead with a 2-run single. I didn't want to let them take the game from my hands, said Bowery. Hank Bowery is the player of the game, starter for Washington. He's now 2-1 with a .218 earned run average. The losing pitcher is Frank Papish. He's now 0-1 with a 3.66 ERA. Final score, the Senators win at home 4-1 over the White Sox. The Cardinals host the Giants. This game will be quick played. Cardinals host the Giants. Here's the result. Giants defeat the Cardinals 6-2. New York beats St. Louis 6-2. The New York Giants converted a terrific effort from starter Ted Lyons into a win over the St. Louis Cardinals at Sportsman's Park. The Giants won the game by a final score of 6-2. The win puts New York at 9-5. Billy Herman went 2 for 5 with 2 singles for New York. The 10-time All-Star had a key at-bat in the top of the 4th. With 1 out and the bases loaded, he broke a 0-0 tie with a run-scoring sacrifice fly off Ellis Kinder. It was his 9th RBI of the season. "We need better swings, better at-bats," said losing manager Eddie Dyer. Player of the game and starting pitcher for the Giants, Ted Lyons. He is now 2-1. His ERA is 1.73. Losing pitcher is Eddie Kinder. He's now 1-1. His ERA is 0.79. The Giants win on the road versus St. Louis 6-2. Okay, the final game of the day from Wrigley Field, the Cubs will host the Dodgers. From Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Cubs host the Brooklyn Dodgers. Here's the starting lineup for the Dodgers. Bert Haas at first, Pete Reeser at third, Enos Slaughter in right, he's cold. The cleanup hitter Sam Chapman in left, Barney McCoskey in center, Bill Rizzuto at short, Bruce Edwards, the catcher, Bobby Adams at second base, he's cold, and the starting pitcher Ray Scarborough. In 2 games, his record is 0-2, 4.09 ERA, and a 1.55 whip. He's 28 years old. Starting lineup for the Cubs: Johnny Pesky at short, Ray Sanders at first, Carl Furillo at center, the cleanup hitter Ted Williams in left, Clyde McCullough the catcher, Peanuts Lowry at third, Buddy Blattner at second, Wally Moses in right, and the starting pitcher Red Embry. In 1 game, his record is 0-1, 2.57 ERA, and a 1.14 whip. He's 28 years old. "12,000 fans in the stands, clear skies, 56 degrees, wind blowing out the center at 11 miles an hour." The Cubs are in 3rd place with a record of 7-5. Their home record is 3 wins and a loss. The Dodgers are in 5th place with a record of 6-7. On the road, they're 5-3. Let's play ball. Good afternoon and welcome to Wrigley Field. Today, Chicago will battle Brooklyn. The 5th place Dodgers are 6-7. Chicago comes in at 7-5, placing them 3rd in the National League. The Cubs have won 5 games in a row. The teams have not played each other yet this season. Sunshine expected all day. Temperature is 56. The wind is blowing in. Starting for the Cubs is Red Embry. He has no wins to go with 1 loss and a .257 earned run average. Moving into the box is Bert Haas. He's hitting .216 on the year with 1 home run and 5 runs batted in. The full count pitch, fly ball on the infield. The second baseman will make the catch and we're underway. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. The Dodgers have Pete Reeser at second, Enos Slaughter at first, the right-hand hitter Sam Chapman at the plate, facing the right-hand pitcher Red Embry. Chapman is hitting .269, no homers, 11 runs batted in. He's the cleanup hitter. The pitch. The throw to third on the attempted steal, and Reeser steals third base. Slaughter will advance to second on the play. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the hitter Sam Chapman. The pitch. 1 out. That's in the air, in the gap, all the way to the wall. Bounces off the wall. 2 runs will score on the double by Sam Chapman. Reeser and Slaughter both score, and the Dodgers lead Chicago 2-0. Top of the first inning, Sam Chapman is second. The left-hand hitter Barney McCoskey steps in versus the right-hand pitcher Embry. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second out. The batter is right-hand hitter Phil Rizzuto, the number 6 hitter. The shortstop is hitting .244 on the season, no homers, 7 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He strikes out the rest of the side, and the side is retired. Dodgers scored 2 times in the inning. Brooklyn has jumped out in front, 2-0. Bottom of the first inning, advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Carl Furillo is at second base with the left-hand hitter Ted Williams at the plate. He's the cleanup hitter. The left fielder is hitting .263 on the year, 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from right-hand pitcher Ray Scarborough for the Dodgers. 2 out. And that's a soft liner to the shortstop to retire the side. Inning over for the Cubs. 2 base runners in the inning, but Chicago fails to score. At the end of 1, the Brooklyn Dodgers lead 2-0. Top of the second inning, advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. The Dodgers have Bobby Adams at second base, with the right-hand batter Ray Scarborough stepping in. He's the pitcher. Righty versus righty, 1 out. The pitch. As hit in the air to second, a soft line drive is caught for the second out. Here's the batter Bert Haas. Top of the second, Brooklyn leads by 2. 2 out. Here's the pitch from Embry for the Cubs. It's on the ground to the shortstop. He'll throw to first in time, and that retires the side. The second inning's over for Brooklyn with a walk, nothing else. Dodgers still lead 2-0. Bottom of the second, Cubs trail by 2, advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Clyde McCullough is at third base. The batter is right-hand hitter Peanuts Lowry. The number 6 hitter is the third baseman, hitting 200 on the year. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Righty versus righty. The delivery from Scarborough. That's on the ground to third. Looks the runner back and makes the peg across the diamond in time. First out. Here's right-hand hitter Buddy Blattman. He's the number 7 hitter. The second baseman is hitting 229 on the year. No homers, 5 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Scarborough. That's in the air to left field. He's waiting on it, makes the catch. He throws quickly back into the infield. The runner on third does not attempt to score. 2 out now. Here's the left-hand hitter Wally Moses. Moses is hitting 308 on the year. No homers, 3 runs batted in. He's the number 8 hitter. The right fielder stands in. That's in the air up the middle, base hit. That'll score a run. And the Cubs are on the board. RBI single scores McCullough. Brooklyn now leads 2-1. Bottom of the second inning, runner on first base will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. So at the end of the second inning, the Cubs trail the Dodgers 2-1. Top of the third, advancing. Bottom of the third. Bottom of the third inning, the Cubs have Johnny Pesky at second base with right-hand hitter Carl Furillo at the plate. First,ing the righty, Ray Scarborough. 1 out. Cubs trail by a run. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit to right field. Runner rounds third and hit it home. There's a throw home, and he's safe at home. The score is now tied 2-2. Furillo delivering an RBI single. Bottom of the third inning, Furillo at second. The batter is left-hand hitter Ted Williams. Williams is 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Righty versus lefty. It's hit sharply to third base. He'll scoop it up and throw to first in time. The runner on second stays put. 2 out now. And here's the right-hand hitter Clyde McCullough. He's the number 5 hitter. The catcher's hitting 237 on the year. He's 1 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. 2 out. That's on the ground the first. He'll take it himself to retire the side. 3 innings complete. Cubs get a run, and they tie the score at 2. Top of the 4th inning. Advancing. Dodgers have a runner at second base in Barney McCoskey. Right-hand hitter Bruce Edwards steps in. Edwards is the number 7 hitter. The catcher's hitting 318. Oh, no homers, 7 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch from Red Embry. 1 out. Score tied. Hit in the air, no, on the ground to short. The throw to first, and the first baseman can't handle it, and they charge the shortstop with an error. Bonnie McCarskey to third. Edwards safe at first on the error. That's the second error for the Cubs today. 1 out. Runners on the corners. Right-hand hitter Bobby Adams steps in. The number 8 hitter for the Dodgers. It's 136 on the year. 6 hits and 44 at-bats. A homer, 5 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Embry. Right hand versus right hand. That misses, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. The pitcher steps in, Ray Scarborough. Righty versus righty. One out. Here's the pitch. Infield drawn in. That's it in the air to center. He races in to make the catch, throws the ball quickly into the infield, and the runners do not advance. That's the second out. Leadoff man Bert Haas will step in. The first baseman is 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Embry. That's hit in the air to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. One run is in. Another man is attempting to score. The throw home beats the runner, but the catcher can't handle it. So they charge the right fielder with an error. So Edwards scores, Adams to third, Bert Haas to second. The Dodgers score 2 on the Haas single, and Brooklyn now leads 4-2. Top of the fourth inning, 2 out. Adams at third, Haas at second. The batter is left-hand hitter Pete Reeser. The number 2 hitter, the third baseman's hitting .231 with 1 homer and 6 runs batted in. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch, righty versus lefty. That's in the air to right field, and that'll get down and go all the way to the wall. He's hit it for second. 2 runs have scored. He's hit it for third base. There's a throw to third that it will not be in time. It's a triple. Adams and Haas score, and now the Dodgers lead 6-2. Top of the fourth, 2 out. Dodgers lead by 4. Reeser at third. The batter is Enos Slaughter, the left-hand hitter. He's hitting .196 on the year. He's 1 for 2 today. Righty versus lefty. Here's the pitch from the Cubs' Embry. That's hit on the ground to the mound. Pitcher picks it up, throws the first in time, and that retires the side. 8 men bat for the Dodgers, with 4 of them scoring. Dodgers have gone in front 6-2. Bottom of the fourth. Cubs trail by 4, advancing. Top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth. Top of the sixth. A runner in scoring position in the top of the 6th inning for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Bruce Edwards at second base, with the right-hand hitter Haas stepping in, the leadoff man. He's 1 for 3 today with 2 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Embry in his 6th inning of work. There's a hit, a line drive, caught by the shortstop, inning over. 1 error, but Brooklyn gets nothing. Dodgers maintain the lead 6-2. Bottom of the 6th, Cubs trail by 4. Ted Williams leads it off. We are advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Clyde McCullough now at third base, nobody out, with the right-hand hitter Peanuts Lowry stepping in. The number 6 hitter, the third baseman, is hitting .189 on the year, 7 hits and 37 at-bats. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Scarborough, righty versus righty. That's hit in the air to center field. He ranges toward right and makes the catch. Runner tags and is hit it home, and there'll not be a throw. Okay, so the score is now 6-4. The Cubs have scored 2 runs in this inning. So Williams singled and scored on the triple by McCullough. I missed that. So the Cubs already have scored a run in this inning. And then on the Lowry fly ball, McCullough will tag up and score. I don't see that though. They say they score. Okay. So 2 runs are in. The score is 6-4. The Cubs trail by 2. Bottom of the 6th inning. The bases are empty, so we advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Another run is scored. So let's see what happened. Wally Moses hits a solo home run. Let's see. I should be able to see that. No, it's a flyout. Peanuts Lowry, a flyout for the Dodgers. Yeah, I'm confused by that. I don't understand that. Okay. All right. Cubs hit a home run, but the replay is a Dodger play. I don't understand that. Okay. Don Callaway steps in. He's the pinch hitter. He's 1 for 2 on the year. He's got a run batted in. So the Cubs have drawn to within 1. They trailing 6-5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Right-hand pitcher Scarborough versus right-hand hitter Callaway. Here's the pitch. Wait a minute. There's nobody on. So we're going to advance. Okay. So at the end of 6 innings, the score is Brooklyn 6, Chicago 5. There's a new pitcher for the Cubs here in the top of the 7th. Orville Grove will take the mound. He has no record. He's pitched 2 innings. No hits, no earned runs. He's walked 1 and struck out no one. His earned run average is 0. We'll advance until there's a runner in scoring position. And the Dodgers score a run without a runner being in scoring position. It's a solo home run by Pete Reeser to give them a 2-run lead. So if I do this, it's still Peanuts Lowry. And it's a flyout. All right. Top of the 7th inning. Nobody on. Advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. Dodgers lead by 2, 7-5. Okay. With 1 out, Slaughter is at second. McCoskey at first. With the right-hand hitter Rizzuto at the plate, the number 6 hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch from Orville Grove, right-hander.
Strike 3.
And he swings and misses, strike 3. That's the 2nd out. Here's the right-hand hitter Bruce Edwards. The catcher is 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground up the middle, base hit. On a rounding third and hit it home, there'll be a throw to the cutoff man, who will throw to third, and he'll get the runner at third. So the run scores on the single, and that's the end of the inning. The 7th is over for Brooklyn. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. Brooklyn adds to their lead, and now it's 8-5. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs trail by 3. Heskey will lead it off, the top of the order. Will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Sanders is at second with 1 out. The batter is Carl Furillo, the number 3 hitter. He's hitting .275, 2 for 3 today, with a run batted in. Here's the pitch with 1 out. That's on the ground to first. He'll take it himself unassisted for the 2nd out. Sanders will advance to third base. For the Dodgers, there's a new pitcher. Al Gerherzer. Here's the new pitcher. He's pitched 7 2/3 innings. He has no record. He's allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 4 and struck out 2. His earned run average is 2.35. He will face Ted Williams, lefty versus lefty. 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Cubs trail by 3. The pitch. That's in the air, in the gap, all the way to the wall between center and right field. The run is in. He's rounding second and hit it for third. The throw to third is not in time. It's a triple. Sanders scores. Ted Williams has a triple, and that brings the Cubs to within 2, 8-6. Bottom of the 7th, Williams at third. The batter is Clyde McCullough, right-hand hitter. The number 5 hitter is 2 for 3 today with a run batted in. Here's the pitch. Lefty Gerheiser to Clyde McCullough. That's hit sharply to third base. He throws to first in time to retire the side. Inning over. Cubs score 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, a runner left on. Chicago shortens the lead to 8-6. Top of the 8th inning. Brooklyn is ahead by 2. Advancing. To the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs trail by 2, advancing. Enos Lowry now at second base with 1 out, and Wally Moses at first. Left-hand hitter Chuck Workman will step in. He's a pinch hitter. He's 4 for 6 on the year, hitting .667. Lefty versus lefty. Gerhauser for the Dodgers versus Workman for the Cubs. Here's the pitch. That's it in the air over a leaping shortstop. The runner on third rounds but stops. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th. So Cubs have the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first, and the leadoff hitter, Johnny Pesky, will step in. He's 2 for 3 today. Here's the pitch, lefty versus lefty. That's hit sharply up the middle, base hit. 1 run is in. Another man rounding third and hit it home. There's a throw home. And he's safe. 2 runs score on the hit, and that ties the game. It is 8-8. The 2-run single by Johnny Pesky evens the score. "16 men have crossed the plate today, and the score is not settled. Guerra is at second base. Mike Guerra, he's the pinch runner. Johnny Pesky is at first base. And Ray Sanders will step in. He's playing first base now, hitting .277. Left-hand hitter versus Gerhauser. Here's the pitch. Lefty versus lefty. 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second out. The batter is Carl Furillo, the number 3 hitter. The center fielder is hitting .269. He's 2 for 4 today with a run batted in. Lefty versus the right-hand hitter. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the air on the infield. The shortstop is there to make the catch to retire the side. Chicago puts 2 runs on the board and tie the game 8-8. We enter now into the 9th inning. The score tied. New pitcher for the Cubs. It'll be Joe Page. Joe is 1-0. 2.2 2/3 innings pitched. 1 hit allowed. No earned runs, no walks. He struck out 1. His earned run average is 0. It'll be reserved. Leading it off for the Dodgers here in the top of the 9th. The score is tied 8-8. will advancing until there's a runner in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers do not get a runner in scoring position, do not score. Ted Williams will lead off the bottom of the ninth for the Cubs. The left-hand pitcher, Gerharzer, is still in there in his second inning of work. Will advance until there's a runner in scoring position. Williams is at second base. Nobody out. Clyde McCullough at the plate, right-hand hitter. The catcher is 2 for 4 today with a run batted in. Lefty versus righty, the pitch. He lays down a bunt. The pitcher will take it. Throw to first base. In time for the out. Ted Williams advances to third base. The winning run is 90 feet away with 1 out. The batter, Peanuts Lowry. Third baseman is hitting .211 on the year, 1 for 3 today with a run batted in. Here's the pitch. He hits it on the ground. It's through. It's a base hit, and that's the game. Williams will touch home, and the Cubs will win this one 9-8 with a walk-off single. The Cubbies get it done, scoring 7 runs in the last 4 innings to win this game. Let's take a look at the totals. Here are the totals for today's games. First, for the victorious Chicago Cubs, who are now 8-5. 9 runs, 18 hits, 4 errors for the Cubs. They left 8 men on base. For the Dodgers, they scored 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They left 6 men on base. Cubs sneaked past the Dodgers 9-8. The Chicago Cubs defeated the Brooklyn Dodgers 9-8. Right fielder Wally Moses deserved a large share of the credit. Moses went 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 singles, while scoring 2 and driving in 2 for the Cubs. Brooklyn now is 6-8. Batting in the bottom of the ninth, 28-year-old third baseman Peanuts Lowry had a real shot to win the game. Brooklyn pitcher Al Gerharzer was determined not to let it happen. But with 1 out, Lowry hit a run-scoring single. The Cubs had a walk-off triumph. This place sure got loud, said Charlie Grimm, the Chicago manager. Player of the game is Wally Moses, the right fielder for the Cubs. The winner is Joe Page. He's now 2-0. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit allowed. Struck out 1, 14 pitches. Earned run average still 0. Losing pitcher is Al Gerharzer. He's 0-1, and that's his first blown save. Pitched an inning and 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He didn't walk anyone, struck out 2. 37 pitches, his earned run average is now 4.82. Special note, Clyde McCullough ties the National League regular season game record for triples with 2. Clyde McCullough. Okay. So the Cubs win 1 at home in the bottom of the ninth, 9-8 over the Brooklyn Dodgers. So ends April. Let's look at the performances of the day for Tuesday, April 30th. Number 3 performance of the day, Hank Bowry for the Washington Senators. 9 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and the win in the 4-1 win versus the Chicago White Sox. Number 2 performance is Johnny Wyrostek of the Pirates. He went 3 for 4 with a double, homer, 3 runs batted in, and 2 runs scored in the 7-1 win versus the Phillies. And the number 1 performance of the day is Murray Dixon for the Pirates. 8 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and the win in the 7-1 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies. We finished the month. Let's look at the current standings. Pirates lead the Giants by 2.5 in the National League, and the Tigers lead the Yankees and A's by 2 games in the American League. Next, we will begin with May with these matchups. Pirates host the Phillies. Red Sox host the Tigers. A's host the Browns. Senators host the White Sox. Yankees host the Guardians. Reds host the Braves. Cardinals host the Giants. And the Cubs host the Dodgers.